Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, it's going to be mainly focusing on debugging my game and trying to get it packaged. I've already sunk a lot of time in trying to debug, and I've lost the recordings for the progress on that, but I can fill that in a moment. I also added in a few things that I previously talked about in previous attempts to record this project 3 that I'll also go over here in a second. So this first thing that I added based on some feedback from players and the professor. So I added in a soundtrack, a background sound, and this background sound was made by my friend Nathan Brown. He came by over this week and he helped me make this soundtrack for the background ambiance of my game, and I'll let you guys listen to that real quick. So that's what it sounds like. And then I made a cue for this sound here. And all I did with this cue is I clicked on the output, I lowered the output down to 55, and I made it loop and then drag it in my world, and you can hear it in game real quick. I think it fits my game pretty good. It's a 6 minute long soundtrack that he made for this game, so it is pretty long. So I'm not going to be able to let you guys listen to the whole thing here. Um, and other things that I've added for this project since project 2 are things I covered in other videos that I'll go over very briefly. I'll show real quick. Is the reticle, added a reticle that was based off of some player feedback, and I added in a respawn system that is slightly broken right now, so I'll try to also fix that in this project, but it's not on the highest list of priorities. Here, I'll let you guys see how it works. See if you get punched, you die. That's the bug. It's not calculating damage correctly, but the respawn system works nonetheless. And another thing that I want to add in is an objective system that is also based off of some player feedback, so they can have more of a direction on how to get through the level. So that's what I'm going to add, and now I'm going to talk about the debugs that I've done so far. So in trying to package my game, I've run into a lot of virtual texture issues, specifically for this stuff, and I went through fixing all those errors at first, but it turns out I wasn't actually packaging it because I had to install the most recent .NET 64 thing and the most recent SDK versions for my Windows. And then once I downloaded that, those errors were not no longer persisting, and I have now a new batch of errors, but it is now trying to cook the game and package it. And I have fixed some of this in the output log here. I'll bring it up with errors. As you can see, I have quite a few errors. Most of it has to do with redirecting issues that I've been looking into. I've fixed a lot of skeletal issues with some animations not having skeletons, and that was in first person animations. A lot of these didn't have skeletons, so I added skeletons. This is probably gonna have to be added to skeleton. All I do is go in here and then I pick in a skeleton that I want to use, and that should fix that issue. So I'll have to go in and fix those, figure out what's wrong with those redirecting issues. And then once I get all those fixed, the game should be packaged. But I may or may not be able to package the game in this project. It might have to be pushed to next project because the redirects is not as simple as going into here and into the content drawer and then fix up redirects. I've already tried that quite a few times, and it's not a simple fix. So I'll have to see, I'll hit fix all redirects and it won't fix the redirects that's giving me the errors. So I'll have to figure out what exactly to do with those redirect problems for those files. And once I do the game tree package, and I'm also going to add in that objective system. So I'll be back once I either add in or fix some things. Okay, I just got done adding my new objective system. It's pretty simple. So I got this BP objective trigger I made, which is just an actor that I gave a collision box, and then in the blueprint on component begin overlap, cast to the first person character, and then it uploads, or I mean updates this objective that I'll show you that I made, and then it also gets the resets the current, no, it gets the current objective variable that I made. It's a string variable I made down here, the new objective to set. So it sets that into the update objective, and it only does this line of code once. And then I made a function in the first person character. So I made a current objective string variable down here and an objective widget variable down there. So I made the a new function to update the objective. I set the current objective, set the text, and then the target is the current objective text and the objective widget, and the in text is text to string current objective is the function I made in the event graph. I added on to the health bar interface and just switched it to interface because it was the only event begin play that I had for the first person character graph here. So I added onto that to create the widget I made. I'll show you in a second. And then it sets objective widget and then adds the viewport. That's pretty simple. It's really similar to the health bar system I made a long time ago. And then the widget itself is here. All it is I added some text for objective. I added the scale box so all the text will stay within that box. And then I set the this text to as a variable, and that's how I was able to call it in all those other blueprints I showed. And then I'll show it in game. You don't hit any of the objective triggers until after you unlock the first door. I haven't set all of them, but I set 2 of them to see how it works. And I can show you that real quick. So whenever you first start, objectives, find key. I might mess around with what they say a bit more, but it works. And then you open this and into it, explore the facility. So you're exploring the facility, kill your first enemy, might walk in there, unlock door to the closet. Okay, so that objective setting, that objective changing in there kind of implies that the key to the closet here is in this room. So you find it, and once you open this, I'll probably put another trigger here that says crawl through the vents, and then once you crawl through the vents, it might say like look around or something like that, and then you look around in this area here, find the key, and then once you pick up that key, or maybe it will say, oh, the trigger box will say something like unlock last door or find key to last door or something along those lines. So that was a big heuristic that players wanted to see. It's not the most intuitive system, but it works and I like it. And the reason I was able to change what these said is largely due to I made one of the variables I made to switch the text to instance editable. So within the new objective to set, I made the instance editable, and then so I can change whatever I want it to say once you overlap that trigger box. So all I have left to do is to see how many more errors I can fix up and debug for the compiling of my game. Hopefully in this project I can compile it. If not, I will definitely try to compile it in the final project 4. Again, I have a few errors, so I'll show you them real quick again. Those are some errors that I have still going on. I'll try to I'll try to package my game and see what the outlog errors are again. Here they are. Most of them are redirect errors. I've tried redirecting things, so I'll see what happens, and I'll be back whenever I can package my game or if anything changes. Okay, so I haven't got my game fully packaged, but I've gotten a lot closer. If you look at this output log, well, that's not the one I wanted to see. I want this one. This is the newest one. So it might look like a lot of errors right now, but compared to what they were, this is not nearly as much. I had triple this amount of errors before I started working on this project. So it's even though there's still quite a bit, it's nice to see some of them are, well, a lot of them are getting fixed, and hopefully by the next project they will all be fixed and I will be able to package my game. And another thing that is getting close to debugged, but not quite, is for some reason I'm still getting one shot by these enemies that I programmed, and that started happening whenever I implemented the respawn system. So it has something to do with that, and I might need to make a new system for that. So that will be another thing being fixed in within the next project. So the whole point of this project was for me to learn how to debug some things. For me, that was the whole purpose, and I've debugged quite a lot, put well over probably 10 hours, maybe 15 hours of debugging, try to package this game. And I did manage to also add in a few systems. I'll show you that pine key is what you start with, and you walk over, unlock the door to the closet. And so I have an objective system, and I have a reticle, and I did have a respawn system, but that is bugging out my health for some reason, which I will have to see about. Other things I hope to add within the next project is a death animation for the enemies and a sound animate like a sound wave for the enemies that come from that actor location, so it sounds like they're grunting, howling, screaming, whatever I decide to add on them. And then fixing up the little bugs left, so the outlog errors and then the health. So once that's all done, then my game will be completely finished, and hopefully I will be able to get all of that in Project 4. I would also like to add a, a story in Project 4, but that's lower down on the list to get things done, so that may or may not be added by the next project, but might not look like I got a lot done, but I put a lot of work into trying to debug. Didn't quite get it. It happens. I got a lot other errors fixed, which I'm pretty happy about. I guess take your wins when you can get it. And I guess that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I can get these errors figured out for next video. Thanks for watching.